And Mirotic, you want me to move on to him real fast?
I was going to go quick McDermott now.
Go ahead.
So who is the player, and I disagree with the parallel sometimes with this comparison, but who is the player that everyone compares Doug McDermott to coming out of college?
Larry Bird?
Realistic comparison.
Wally Zerbiak?
No, it was Kyle Korver.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone said
right.
He was Kyle Korver.
Yeah, right. Okay, fine.
Kyle Korver at age 22, both went to Creighton. He shot 35% from the floor his rookie year as a 22-year-old. Shot 28% from two-pointers. Was okay at 39% from three, which is still the worst of his entire career. It takes a while for them to adjust to the speed of the game. And the one thing about McDermott that I always liked is that, yeah, in college it's a way different game. I understand that. It's a way easier game. However, he was the man at Creighton, and something like 74% of his shots were contested jumpers. So it's not like this guy last year was just lining up shooting practice. He was getting draped all over by multiple defenders. So I have confidence that he'll be able to adjust the way Kyle Korver has, and he's also better in different facets of the game than Korver was. Maybe he won't ever be the 50% three-point shooter, but I think he'll put a very respectable mid-40s and be a guy that can get to the basket and defend a little bit better than Kyle has ever done.
Well, I'll give you two sides in that. Number one, that's a very good point about Korver, and it can be applied to a ton of guys. Most guys, I would say.
J.J. Redick was awful coming out of college.
Well, and listen, here's an example. And he was a bigger contributor his rookie year, but he was a horrendous offensively for multiple years. And look at him now, and I'm talking about Jimmy Butler. Not the same, but listen, it takes guys a while to figure out the NBA game offensively. I get that, and I'll give you another Dougie McDermott positive nugget for you. He's actually quicker than I thought he was going to be.
Yes.
He's been able to get in the lane. He just can't finish. Maybe with time he'll be able to. But back to my original point, which I'm not going to get hammered off of. This year, this season, you can't rely on anything. He's going to give you next to nothing. Now maybe he'll figure it out over time. I'll give you that benefit of the doubt. But the concept that the rookies are going to contribute to a championship level team this season, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And once Taj Gibson gets healthy, Nikola Mirotic, if you don't get your act together, you're never going to play. I mean, you're going to get 5 minutes a night. He really that's what it's going to be, and he's given a golden opportunity right now to get on the court. One piece of advice from good old at the Carm here: when you're open, shoot
the ball,
the basketball. You are out there not for your defense, which is generally putrid, and you're certainly not out there for your physical presence because you are. I mean, you're Brad Sellers-esque thin. Enough with the fake the three, drive in, half the time turn it over move. Shoot the basketball, three-cola. Get that thing out.
Did you hear Tibbs' comments about that a couple of games ago? I thought it was pretty interesting.
Tibbs is going to have a heart attack because of this guy, but go ahead.
Well, somebody asked him about that very sentiment because I agree with you. It's very frustrating to see him pump fake. He can get to the basket. He's way better at it than people anticipate or suggest. However, I agree that he needs to shoot a little bit more, especially when he's wide open. And that happens quite frequently. But Tibbs, after one of the games, was asked about that, and he said that right now, because everything's happening so fresh and so new for Mirotic, that he doesn't want him to really think on the court. He just wants him to use his instincts.
Yeah.
And once he's settled in, then they can go kind of polish his game a little bit. So in the meantime, he's going to let him do his thing, which could be more Brad Miller type pump fakes from the top of the key, go to the cup, see what happens, and then they might try to refine it a little bit. So I'd never really thought of that aspect of it before, and I think in this situation, and this sounds like a Bulls apologist sort of saying, but I think you got to trust Tibbs, and they know what they're doing with Mirotic, because I agree with you, it can be frustrating. I will say that I felt like in the second half today, he took a step in the right direction with some of his rebounding and team defense. Because in the first half, and we talked about this on G-Chat, he
tries.
Horrendous. He does try.
He tries.
His biggest problem, and this is coach speak, but he turns his back from his defender, or from the player he's guarding. He'll commit too quickly to the guy with the ball, and he completely leaves his own man. He doesn't see both, and that's a fundamental issue on defense, and right now he's not getting it.